All right, 6 o'clock. Glad to see all you state champion track kids and parents here with some presentations. So I'll call this regularly scheduled Carbon County School District 2 Board of Trustees meeting to order. First item of business would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Aspen Sewell, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And just to know the agenda is amended.
And we approve the agenda as amended.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item 3, presentations, recognitions. We'll start with the state track champions.
All right, we always invite and recognize state champions in all of our sports and activities, and we just happen to have a lot in this particular sport, so it's really a good thing. So I will let the principal introduce coaches and students and so on and talk a little bit about them, and the coaches can say a word or two if they'd like. So we'll start with Mr. Johnson at Saratoga.
Well, I'll introduce the coaches and then they can say what all the events that the girls and guys were in for state championships. So we got head coach Rex Holt and assistant Shaylee. So coach, introduce them.
Well, blame you for not knowing who your state champions, because you got a lot of them. Let's have all the girls and guys come up here. That'd be a lot easier for us. Over Shaylee.
Thanks.
Why don't you let him go down the wall?
I'll go with you.
All right, we'll start with our boys down here. We had these 3 guys were part of a state championship 3,200 meter relay team, along with Kelton Johnson, who's not here. Going on to Grady was an all-stater in the 3,200 meter run. Grant was a state champion in the 3,200 meter run and 1,600 meter run. Jaden was at state for the hurdle. What do you think, Whitney? Should we embarrass her? I'm not going to waste everybody's time right now. Sophie Diaz ran the hurdles for us. Aspen was part of a 3,200 meter run and a 4x1 and a, what else? Okay. Josie was part of the state championship sprint medley team. Raiwan also was part of that state championship relay team. Help me out here. McKenna was in it, and Olivia, right? So those 4 right there were part of the sprint medley championship team, along with Shorty. All right. So that was a nice prize for us. Then going to our individual state champions, moving down was Maddie. Maddie won the 3,200 meter run, was an all-stater in the 1,600 meter run. Again, part of that sprint medley relay state championship team, and was 3rd in the 800. Whitney Bennett was state champion in the triple jump and 300 hurdles. And Allie was a state placer in the 3,200 meter run and the 1,600 meter run and the 3,200 meter relay. Did I miss anything? Pretty good?
And overall, our girls were the state
Well, I'll get into that.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
So, I mean, I think everybody knows that, but was a pretty special meet for these girls winning their Saratoga's first state championship in track and field. So I always said that they were very versatile, and they did everything to win. And you know, we got a junior, Olivia Everett, who was in 3 relays, and McKenna was in part of 3 relays, right? And so we had a pretty special meet. And Mary Lee, who's not down, she's down here with the boys. She was 3rd place in the 3,200 meter run, right? And so it was just a great group effort from all of them. And I can't thank them enough for all the effort they put into the state championship as these boys right here, because they don't come easy and they don't come often. So I want you all to appreciate what you accomplished, but don't rest on your laurels. And you know, after today, the recognition time's over, and to start working towards winning three or four sports next year. And same thing, boys. All right. So I thank all the board for inviting all of us here tonight, and Dr. Copeland, we wish you the best as you move forward in your retirement. And board, we thank you for all the efforts you put into doing a thankless task at some time. And so we thank you and thank all of the people here, and congratulations to all the other athletes here that are going to be recognized tonight. So thank you.
And also, let's don't forget that Rex Honhold was the 1A girls track coach of the year. So.
Those only happen because of kids.
Stephen, do you want to go next?
I'll introduce Mr. Jones. Talk about our.
It's actually Mrs.
Yeah.
That's the way it is in my house.
And so if I could have our seniors, Solis and Brady Wilson, sophomore Avery Scott, and freshman Justine Luce. So these 4 young ladies were the 4x800 champions. It was, I don't think it's their favorite event by any stretch. Their goal actually for the last couple of years has been to beat the school record, which I actually hold. So we won the state championship, but I coached them down so they couldn't get the record. These are the 4 girls that went to state for us, and they're the 4 girls that came home state champs. Talissa also participated in hurdles. Rainey was just all over the place this year, competing in events. Sprints, distance, she became a discus thrower this year. Avery placed in 3 different individual events at state, and Justine also hurdled for us this year. And she was also a long jumper. Justine missed an old school 300 hurdle record by less than a second. And so we are pretty excited about Justine coming back. So that's a hard act to follow. Congratulations to all of the target athletes. It was pretty amazing. It's neat to go watch and see our kids from this area honestly do so well. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, these are the 4 young ladies from HEM state champions.
Thank you. It was fun to see. I did watch you girls run that. It was fun. I hope you heard me cheering.
Yeah.
You sure you weren't cheering for the other team?
I was cheering for them. That was pretty clear there. So, all right, got one more. Mr. Jordan, is everybody?
So state track didn't have the best weather, and they actually called the meet Thursday during our discus throw, but since we had already started the throwing, they couldn't stop it, so we had to throw in standing water about like this, and it was a blizzard, and it was cold and miserable, so it wasn't the best throws, but he was able to get it done, I think through 125. I don't know. It was 129. It wasn't his best. I think his best was 141 something. And then same thing with shot put. He was able to get the job done, but he threw 47, but his best was 50. He broke a school record. So anyway, pretty proud of him. He'll be back next year and the next year. So awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming down.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Bye, Dr. Copeland.
Okay, very good, Sunny. I don't know, some of the parents that were coaches that were out there in the snow, they had some work. Yeah. Okay, item B, Hannah Community Garden, Ms. Freeman, Mr. Freeman.
So I bring you greetings from the Hannah Community Garden. I'm Ellen Freeman. I have the honor of being the vice president this season, and not a great speaker. 6 years ago, you all agreed to partner with us to build a garden on the old elementary site. And then our site was built 100% by the people in Hannah, their laborers, they gave the materials. Some of the businesses from Saratoga, from Rollins and Laramie, all built that together as a community. We've got a lot of construction going on in Hannah, and last year we could have easily been wiped out. But you guys, Dr. Copeland, supported us and helped us get through the move. And now we are doubled in size, both land-wise with our space and with our participation. We have over 15 families now that are part of the garden, with 5 families going, we're gonna watch and see how this goes with the wind and the water and all this fun, variables. So we're really thrilled that we're growing and we're making a difference. And 2 of our families are driven by their teenage daughters that are part of HEM. So we're really excited to get the youth involved and get them going with us, get them the love of planting. And we're hoping that the FFA will become more active with us in the coming year now that we're up at the high school and right in their backyard. The challenge of the move really pulled our garden group together. So we're building our group, we're building community. And one of our goals is to strengthen the Hannah community, to bring it together. I think that's happening and it's exciting. Our 4th annual scholarship was given to Jolynn Bora. Not only do we offer our scholarship, but we offer community service hours, and we offer personal recommendations to any of the young people that want to get involved with us and work with us. So we stand on community, planting, and our students. We want to strengthen and help our students to know that their community is behind them as they go out into wherever the world takes them. Rosie's Posies gift shop in Minor Plaza, along with several of our gardeners, have worked to germinate and bring together these spider plants for each of the board members. For Darren and Steve for supporting us and helping us, and you on the ongoing. We want to make a friendship and keep going with you. So we just thank you guys for supporting us, for helping us, and for not letting us get wiped out in this construction that's crazy over there in Hannah. And if any of you have ideas on how we can work together to help more students, to build the community stronger, we would love to hear your opinions and your ideas so that we can take it back to our group and work on making it a reality. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and later, we do have a hiring and item 6E related to the ag education person there at HEM, which, like you mentioned, would be a good
Okay.
potential link. Renell Hinman. I'm saying it right. Okay. We have no correspondence in item 4. Item 5 would be audience comment. Is there any further audience comment? We all left, except for the two of you, obviously. Appreciate that. Okay, item 6, resignations and hiring, starting number A, Dr. Copeland.
We ask you to consider offering a contract to Andrea Lyman for the 22-23 school year. Current assignment will be at HEM as a math interventionist.
Chairman,
Chairman, I move that we offer the contract to Andrea Lyman for the 2022-2023 school year. Current assignment be HEM math interventionist.
second.
Moved and seconded to offer the contract to Andrea Lyman for the 2022-2023 school year. Current assignment being HEM math interventionist. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B.
Item B is to consider, we're asking you to consider offering a contract to Casey Jones for the 22-23 school year. Pending certification, his current assignment will be Saratoga Middle High School math.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we offer a contract to Casey Jones for the 2022-2023 school year pending certification. Current assignment will be SMHS.
Second.
Moved and seconded to offer a contract to Casey Jones for the 2022-2023 school year pending certification. Current assignment being SMHS math. I did have just a question, Mr. Johnson. So it says in there, I like Casey a lot. As far as teaching math at Torrington, like what kind of math stuff did he teach there? It says in his resume here. I'm just curious.
I think he did more of the subbing stuff for him at Torrington. He did, more of it was at college level. That's where his engineering and all that kind of stuff with all the math background comes from.
Yeah.
His certification will be on coursework for his bachelor's. He's got
Okay.
calculus all the way up through calculus 3 and differential equations.
Okay.
He's got a lot of math through his engineering, through his beginning as an engineering major.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item C.
C is, we're asking you to consider offering a contract to Stephen Grover for 22-23 school year pending certification. Current assignment will be HEM Science.
Chairman, I move that we offer the contract to Stephen Grover for 2022-2023 school year pending certification for HEM science.
Second.
Moved and seconded to offer a contract for Stephen Grover, 2022-2023 school year, pending certification, current assignment being HEM Science. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
D is just the renewal or consider hiring the activity coordinators for next year for Mr. Greg Bartlett at Saratoga and Janice Peterson at Encampment.
Mr. Chairman, I move we offer the following, or the listed contracts for activity coordinators for the 2022 school year, 2022-23 school year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to offer the activity coordinator listing on the activity extra contracts for 2022-23 school year, noting that the Hannah one is. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item E is the amendment.
We ask that you consider offering a contract to Renell Heineman for the 22-23 school year. Current assignment will be Ag Education at HEM.
Chairman, I move that we offer contract to Renell Heineman for the 22-23 school year. For our current assignment be
agriculture AGM.
Moved and seconded to offer a contract to Nell Heidman for the 2022-2023 school year, current assignment being Ag Ed AGM. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. How does that put us overall in terms of staffing? Did we fill, did we still have some open spots?
Still looking for art.
Mr. Whitman, art and social studies.
Thank you for that update. Administrative reports, item 7A, superintendent report.
You have a report. I'll just go through it very briefly. Our enrollment figures, we gained 2 from last month. We ended the year with 14 more this year than last year. And you see those numbers there. Our end of the year homeschool update was also an attachment in board docs. We currently have a total of 59 approved and known homeschool students, since we only know the ones that send in their information. And you can see those numbers there. This is just the annual report that we give at the end of each year. Update on the locker rooms. I did go to all the locker room areas last week. Talked to Devin Shepherd. They are on schedule. Basically, they've got almost all of the stuff demolition, in other words, all the tile and stuff like that's off. They did run into a little bit of extra work on when they got the flooring tiles up in the showers and locker rooms to get it smooth. They're going to have to do a little bit of floor prep, more than we knew. It kind of left pot marked. It had been there so long to get all that up. But it's looking good. They're gonna, I think as soon as they get the floor done, they'll do that. They'll pour those floors in, which are the ones that each school picked out their color flakes or whatever in the poured floors, and then the tile will be on the walls. And so anyway, it's going on target. And I'm sure Mr. Jennings will keep an eye on all that. He's been kept up to date on that. So those are the big projects this summer, but I was glad to hear Devin saying they were really getting on it and we're on schedule. So that's a big deal for summer projects that are that extensive. School board elections are coming up, so we just always put that information in there. There are positions that are up are listed. One for area 1, one for area 2, one for area 3, 2 for area 4, which is at large. So you can see there, I think August is August 10th through the 29th. So
I told Charlie, since he didn't come, we just put his name in.
It's a good idea.
He seemed all right with that.
Item 5, we did get our special programs letter, and I attached that. Carbon 2 is rated as meets expectations in the special programs area, special education. That's the highest rating. You can either meet expectations or you're below that. So that's good. There were no areas that caused us to fall below that. So congratulations to Robin Brown and the entire SPED staff across the district. And then the last item, we did receive a donation in the amount of $1,000 from Bridge Street Bargains for the Saratoga K-12 art program. Thank you. That's my report.
Okay, we don't have any principal or special ed reports this month. Mr. Manning.
Yep, so my report's attached as usual. Gave you some updates on curriculum. We've started and almost finished now with the purchases of the new curriculum sets for both ELA 6 through 8 and math 6 and above. Got a lot of those materials, still waiting on some, but for the most part, we're in good shape there and starting to get those out to teachers. We've also got some training scheduled for them next week as optional. Just give the teachers kind of early access, I guess, really, even though we're almost towards the end of June, but to give them some time with the materials over the summer so they're not jumping in right in August. So look forward to what comes from that. Taking some steps to expand our MTSS, our multi-tiered system of support plan for how we're addressing learning gaps with students. And so we've targeted, and now we're in the process of setting up this new system called Fast Bridge. So it essentially provides us K through 12 tools to help diagnose what's going wrong with student learning, and in particular with math and ELA, which are the biggest areas typically that we're tested on that are concerned. If you remember previous reports, we talked a lot about DIBELS, amplified DIBELS testing. We use that for elementary. So this will give us a little bit more expanse into secondary testing to be able to try to help students that are falling behind in those upper grades, and hopefully give them a little bit more intervention. And planning this in conjunction with the new interventionists that we've hired using the ESSER 3 funds for next year. We've got 3 people that are going to be in that primary role, and throw Rachel Johnson into there, we've got 4 people then that can help out and be able to target those interventions a little bit more specifically than what we've done just with one person this past year. Computer science, I thought I'd give you a fun little update. I don't know if anyone of you have been over to encampment school towards the end of the year, but working with Kevin Pannell and then Jared Mason on computer science, the future of computer science for high school at least. Kevin got really into it, and he went searching for some robot kits because he really wanted to incorporate robotics, not only just building, but then also programming. And he bought about 5 kits using his own funds, got his students to kind of jump in, and towards the end of the year, they built and then they programmed these robots, and they had a couple demonstrations at the school. I got to see the tail end of one. Students loved it, the kids were very invested in. So based on his recommendation, based on how successful it was, we made a massive purchase of these kits here. So just kind of nice. I'm assuming that Kevin's going to want to keep doing that, and those demonstrations hopefully will happen in the other high schools as well. So I just encourage for you all to maybe see something a little bit different, see how excited the kids get into this and what they're able to build and program. These kits are pretty cool. You can build 10 different kind of robots and then actually program what they're going to do, following courses or completing certain tasks and things like that. So I'd open this up, but there's a lot of tiny little pieces. I don't want to get lost. That was pretty nice to get those in. I'm excited to deliver those to the schools. I finished my analysis really of the YTOP summative testing data going into district assessment system now, so that the scores that we've gotten so far, those scores are still confidential according to the state, but we obviously as district administration have access to that. We don't have our science scores yet. I don't know why the delay is, but for whatever reason, we're not going to get those scores until August for the 3 grades that we test every single year. But just to give you some information based on what I saw, especially to compare it to past data, I would feel very confident saying that we have been closing some gaps that started really with the pandemic and the aftermath of the pandemic and students being out of school. We've got some gains in some grades that were kind of suffering. Their scores are still sort of weak. But if anything, you know, this is what the experts told us to expect. You've got kids that were out of school for a long time, not practicing as often as they should practice. They fell behind, and they're making some gains back, and it's probably going to take some time to get them all the way back. Hopefully these new interventionists will be able to help us close those gaps a little bit more quickly. Overall, I would say that our middle grades are kind of suffering the most, 6th through 8th grade. Those are where some of the scores were the lowest. And in particular, I'd say that we've made some better growth in ELA this past year in reading and writing, but we've lost a little ground with math. And when I compare our scores, especially to years previous and especially to the state comparison, like I said, we've closed some gaps, but we've got some other gaps that are still out there. And it's just something that we're going to have to continuously focus on. So not to have bad news there, but we're doing some good things. We just got to keep working. And like I said before, hopefully these interventionists will really be able to help us. And in the coming months, I'll provide this information to our principals, and Mr. Jennings and I will do what we can to make this apparent. Hopefully we can just continue bringing things back to normal, I guess is the best way to put it, helping those students be successful. And then other work, a lot of focus just on ordering and organizing all these new programs. PD, I had a meeting with the new interventionists a few weeks ago to talk about what they need to get into their role and start working, and that's really where that Fast Bridge focus came in, although we have been looking at it before. we've got the Consolidate grant, for whatever reason that was delayed for a long time. We finally got access to that, so we've started the process to secure those fundings for next school year. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then I just threw in here a little brag about myself. I am now the new Small District Southwest Regional Director for Curriculum Directors Associations. Extra duties, no extra pay. It's nice to be able to help out other curriculum directors in our particular part of the state, and in specific small districts. There's also a report attached from Rachel Johnson. I asked her to complete just to kind of finish up the year. And she, again, she's listing various trainings that she's been working towards. She's going to be, I think, very helpful, especially as we bring these new interventionists, because we've got 2 new interventionists that have no experience with amplified dibbles testing, so she'll be able to work with them, and they'll be able to work with her about this new fast bridge system. So I'm excited to bring them together at times and just really help them plan out their best approaches, even though they're going to be working at individual schools. It's better to have a team of individuals working together than just one person. So those are my 2 reports. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you. It's good to give bad news if there is bad news. So I apologize for that. We hope to hear. So, all right. So the struggles in 6th to 8th grade, anybody can answer this. So, or other ones. So we've got a new curriculum coming for ELA in middle school. Hopefully it helps. And the interventionist you mentioned, so the one from Hannah was for math. Are the other ones specific to, other new ones specific to math, or you mentioned?
So, and correct me if I'm wrong too, because the principals, I think, are ultimately going to kind of have a say in this, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the one in Hannah is specializing necessarily in math.
She is certified in math.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she's hired as a math interventionist.
Okay.
She will be able to work with the students in ELA as well, but she will be mostly targeted toward math. And when we've looked at our data, that is where there are, especially those struggles especially the junior high grades in the math area. That's where we see the biggest struggles is the math, for whatever reason. So that's where we're going to target it for the most part, is in math.
I really think having the interventionists working with the school improvement teams in each building, working with the principal, and really target the data that needs to improve, whether that's in math or in reading. It's a little easier at the elementary to say math or reading, because that's what Rhiannon will be doing at Saratoga Elementary. She could be doing both, but the other schools just working with their building administrator and their school improvement teams and helping kids in the areas they think he or she can help with kids.
And the nice thing too, with her being certified in math, we can have her teach a pre-algebra class, where both of our teachers' schedules were full before, so it was falling on our SPED teacher to teach that pre-algebra class before, where he would do a pretty good job, but it wasn't necessarily a math teacher teaching that pre-algebra class. So now we have a math teacher that can teach that pre-algebra class to students and get them ready for algebra the next year. So, and this teacher has done that before in another small school. So she has experience with that.
The one in Encampment, I'll also just speak since Mike's not here. She came, she has ties to Encampment, I think her parents or something, but Georgia might know, I think she's connected with the ones that own that greenhouse now, but anyway.
Yeah.
Somehow. But anyway, she has been employed as an interventionist in Cheyenne. And I think her background is a little more ELA than math, but both. And then I think JD's campus, his interventionist actually is a math certified teacher also, going to teach some classes.
He'll be teaching
as
well, but
So we have some good expertise coming in to kind of help with some areas. And I will say junior high is always a little bit of a challenge age for test scores, just historically in my career. Hard to focus. A little bit for some.
Yeah, and one thing, the whole state deals with that.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, how do we do relative to our Southeast states? The point that all junior high kids are special. So the whole, they're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
With the rest of the state regarding that. Okay, thank you. That sounds encouraging to me to have the interventionists. Again, don't worry about sharing bad news to any of you. Like, we'd much rather, I personally, and I think everybody would, just rather tell us how it is, and then like, okay, well, here's some ideas to where we're at, rather than sugarcoat it too much. A little bit, but not just a sprinkle. Just a sprinkle. Don't sit on. Thank you. Okay, item A, we do not have any other unfinished business at this time. 9 was just the consideration of the handbooks.
And I can, I think you got copies attached with things highlighted. There were not major changes. Well, there were not a lot of major changes, but if any of the principals want to highlight anything that they wanted to change, or if you have questions, everybody with Mike's here, and I don't know that Mike changed hardly anything in his. So. If you have a question, I'll certainly get it back to Mike.
I had a question on the SMHS one. There seemed to be a lot of changes for the prearranged absent sheet. Just wondering why you wanted to move forward with that, or what kind of provoked that.
I never had anything in there on a prearranged absent, and after an A-team discussing how the other principals, they have that.
Okay.
And so I put it in ours.
Okay.
Okay, we would need a motion to adopt the handbooks if there's no other questions.
I move that we approve the student handbooks for the 2022-2023 school year as presented. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the student handbooks for the 2022-2023 school year as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, financial topics. Item 11A, treasurer's report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, your general fund balance at the end of May was $4,673,531.60. You can see there the revenue and expenditures for the month of May. In section 2, you can see the major receipts being the State of Wyoming Foundation payment, which is a half payment that we get in May, and then the county treasurer's income are the major receipts. You can see there the money where it is deposited and the various rates that are being paid on those monies. Do you have any questions regarding your general fund? Your financial report for your other funds, for your grants and so forth. You can see there in the first section your grant funds and their balances. We have a few that are starting to zero out. As we get closer to September, that'll start happening more. You see your comparison between May of 21 and May of 22 payrolls. You see your scholarship accounts. There were no new scholarships issued during the month of May. Your employee benefit fund, I did warn you that there would be a $10,000 transfer into that employee benefit fund because they have a $10,000 minimum balance on the account that we have there. So if we don't have $10,000 in there, we get charged $15 or $25 a month. I don't remember which. So I figured it was better to keep that balance and keep that fund going there. And also we'll use that employee benefit fund to fund the payout on personal days at the end of the year next year. So we'll be using that to do that. You see your balance in your major maintenance fund, your capital construction fund. We have a little bit in there just that we had for 10 years, probably that $14,000 has been there. So, and we can't spend it on anything but capital construction. Your depreciation reserve fund, we have spent some money from there, The lunch fund, the encampment activity, HANA activity, and Saratoga activity funds, their balances and expenditures. Any questions?
I got one, Sally.
Yes, sir.
The whole time that I've been on the board, I've never seen anybody do anything with either one of these scholarships.
It's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
Is it well known that that is available? Or?
They know that they're out there, but the one, Dave Frankage was here, the Hoyt Parkinson is an encampment scholarship for a specific, they have to go into a specific area of study. And the Kathy Glode is one that helps it, like the elementary school for special, I want to say it's like a science scholarship to go to science camp and that sort of thing. So they're very rarely used, but they're there. And their guidelines are very specific on what they're used for.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Any other questions? I will tell you that anytime somebody comes to me wanting to set up a scholarship fund, I tell them they're better off to do it on their own instead of through the school district because I can't get good rates on them. Sure. And they can do better to set it up as a 501c3 or that, yeah, IRS regulation. Do you have any questions regarding your summaries, your revenue and expenditure summaries? I think we're spot on track. I think you'll see the end of the year come down and we'll be right where we need to be. Any other questions? That concludes my report.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Bills Committee and I met with Sally and she answered a few questions that we had. So I move that we approve the following bills. General Fund, $468,045.10. Federal Fund, $68,543.20. Major Maintenance Fund, $44,811. Depreciation Reserve Fund, $9,618.30. Hot Lunch Fund, $22,994.49. Encampment Activity Account, $8,484.29. HANA Activity Account, $7,661.44. Saratoga Schools Activity Account, $28,429.70, for a total of $658,576.63.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bills in a grand total of $658,576.63. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, item 12, items from the board. Number A, review board governance leadership policy tab 2.04, which has to do with meetings. Questions, issues, fixes? Okay. Leave it be. Review the following board policies, regulations, exhibits number IKF, computer science standards, I think.
Yeah, this is just to change the wording of our graduation requirements so that computer science can count as that, what was initially listed as computer application or keyboarding. There's really no such thing as that anymore. But we are required to teach the standards for the new computer science standards. So basically, beginning with the graduating class of 2026, they will have computer science. The next 3 years, they can have either. We will let the one, if they've already taken that keyboarding or whatever, the computer application, then that will count. So we're just clarifying that in the policy.
What's the, so 2026 graduating class and beyond, semicolon, transfer student?
Well, the transfer, when they come in, if they're from other states or whatever, and this is a requirement, they will have to take that. So they can be unique situations.
Okay.
If they're in Wyoming, they will not have a real issue with transferring in. that right? Or did I leave something out?
Yeah, that's why that particular piece is in there.
Okay.
Dana, one small thing I could ask. There's a missing parentheses bracket after class.
Okay.
23, 24, 25 graduating class.
Okay.
Close parentheses.
Yep, we can get that added.
Thank you.
And that's an actual policy, so we'll leave that.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the changes to policy IKF as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the changes to policy IKF. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Real quick, I forgot, as normal, for the bills. July Bills Committee is Miller, Gaspery, and George. Okay, item 12C, Region 5 voices referrals or anything.
No, I wasn't able to attend the meeting, and we have a meeting on Wednesday, so.
Okay, 12D, board member comments. Georgia.
I'd just like to say again, congratulations to all of the track athletes and our many state champs that we brought home. That's amazing. And to Mr. Arnold for his Coach of the Year award. And then thank you to the Hannah Community Garden Center for coming in and presenting. And it's pretty cool. I hope maybe the ag program can help out with the so. And I hope everyone's having a great time.
Thank you. It was fun to go to some of the graduations. I think that was after the last meeting, remember?
Yes.
That was good, and always it's interesting how even they were amongst the schools. It was something like 12 and 9 or something to that effect this year, so very close and even. Thank you, Freeman, for coming in and talking about the community garden. I'm glad you're happy enough with the new space and the move, and thank you for the plans. Fun to see all the kids in here, track kids, and state championships. That's always fun. We have some academic state championships in here too. So now I don't know how you do that. Test score champions, some claps too. I was thinking about later when you're talking about your stuff there, Noel, but ultimately sports are a lot of fun, and they help build the individuals, but we also need to have good academics and celebrate it. So in the coming year, bring some academic kids that have done really well in one way or another to celebrate that as well. Dr. Copeland, I miss you. Are you leaving tonight or in the morning?
Sometime tomorrow.
Okay. Just appreciate everything you've done for the district and both of you and having been less in the community. You have a great trip. Thanks.
Thank you again for coming. It's really great to hear those success stories. I'd also like to congratulate all the track success stories as well, and Mr. Humboldt. Congrats to Mr. Manning on becoming the new Small District Southwest Regional Director for Wyoming Curriculum Directors Association. Also, at the elementary school end of year celebration or awards, it was mentioned that Myra Kopaz is our district teacher of the year, so I just wanted to congratulate her. That's pretty exciting, and it sounded like she had a lot of really great accolades and a lot of really nice things that were said about her, so I'm really excited for her. And the thing is, good luck, Dr. Copeland.
I echo a lot of that. Thank you, Freemans, for coming in with the community garden. I think that's fantastic. I'm really proud of all of our track kids that ran in terrible weather. You couldn't even pay me to go. I didn't even want to watch. It was miserably cold and lots of snow and terrible. The fact that they can compete on that level at all is astonishing to me. And there were still a lot of people there watching too, which is astonishing because it was terrible, cold. But I guess it's probably track in Wyoming that probably more often is like that. I think it was pretty terrible the year before, but really proud of the girls. They did phenomenal. I think it's really cool. That's their first state championship ever, so. Congratulations to Robbie Alameda, who's been doing really good shooting for the rodeo club. Sometimes hard when you don't have a kid and stuff to know how good they're doing, so I think that's pretty awesome. We're gonna miss you, Dr. Copeland. I hope Melissa keeps posting stuff online because I read it in her voice and I laugh so much because I get the accent in there and it's so much more fun because it sounds just like her, but looking forward to the summer. Hopefully everybody comes back rested and rejuvenated and ready for New Year.
Yeah, did a lot of that stuff. The track situation in our district is incredible. I mean, what an accomplishment for all those people, and so many of them in so many different categories and events. So it was pretty awesome, and really appreciated having them in there in here to celebrate. So and to Mr. Honhold as well. So congratulations to all those people. Bridge Deep Bargains, that's a very generous donation to a worthwhile cause. So I'd definitely like to thank them for their contribution. And then also congratulations to Noel on your illustrious position. So, yeah. And Dr. Copeland, thank you. I don't know what else to say, but thank you for everything you've done, and best of luck. Enjoy the next chapter.
Echo the same. Track kids, fabulous. Freemans, you're doing a great job up there. That's very much appreciated. Also, you principals and everything else that doesn't get to take the summers off. Thank you guys for being there. I see Steve out there at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day. So I had a boy, Steve, way to work. And earlier when Russ Wiggum retired, I thought he was the last one from Medicine Bow. I didn't realize Rex Honhold started at Medicine Bow way back when, so.
So did Cheryl Blake.
Really? So we got a couple of them left over down, huh? Cool. Dr. Copeland, I was surprised there wasn't a U-Haul truck sitting out there.
Just was glad to get one.
So good luck. It was great working with you. Enjoyed every minute of it. So hope everybody's having a good summer.
I would pretty much echo what it was fun to watch the track kids. I watched them on Facebook winning all their stuff. It was amazing. Freeman's, if you have any questions on community garden seeds, whatever, this is a really great community garden here in Saratoga. Just contact the town and they'll get you in touch. They've got a lot of great ideas. So definitely a resource to reach out to because they've been going for about 10, 11 years. So, but good luck and congratulations. Paul told me it's pretty awesome, the new community garden, so that's neat. Dr. Copeland will miss you and we'll stalk you on Facebook. That's, you're used to that already. Just to expound a little on rodeo, we have a national qualifier, obviously, in Tucker, Caricato. And Rad missed national qualification by 2 points. So it was a little rough. Even if he would have won state and he got second, he would have missed it by a half a point. So Riley my daughter was in the top 10 in breakaway, and Lainey Barkers was in the top 15. So our 4 little kids are pretty tough, and we have 2 student directors in Tucker and Rad. So pretty cool for the rodeo team, just 4 strong, but they represent our district well. So that's all I've got.
James, I was just gonna say, I forgot to mention, but Wyoming six-man brought home the trophy after, I think, 3 years that Nebraska beat them. So that was pretty awesome. We had a lot of kids participate in that game and throughout the county, so that was pretty awesome.
Good. Okay. Item 15 is to set the next meeting date. So it is Wednesday, July 20th at 6 p.m. here at the Central Office Building. Has to be a Wednesday because it's the budget hearing or something to that effect. Right, Sally?
Yeah, it says 22nd on mine.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's Wednesday, July 20th, the
20th.
budget hearing is immediately following.
Is that a meeting that you can call into? That's the only way I'll be able to be on.
I think so.
No,
I think so. Yeah, we'll have several people that might have to do that. Okay,
You won't have a vote in.
alrighty. Well, I hereby adjourn this meeting.